Some games are so incredible, they change your life. Doom, Half-Life, Tek-War. But sometimes greatness falls under the radar. It's time to give some love to those who make great work but don't always receive great praise. Enter Metro 2033. Prior to 2010, the FPS gaming landscape was dominated by titles that promoted American bravado. Games like Call of Duty and Battlefield were, and still are, born of a bald eagle, spanked by Uncle Sam, and used as a tool to recruit people for the US Army from a young age by making war look badass as hell. That last part isn't a joke, seriously, look it up. The year 2010 brought with it a new era of FPS, an era that was gritty, creative, and decidedly not American. Not one, but two games set in a post-apocalyptic Russia and developed by Ukrainian game studios were released that year. One of them was Stalker, Call of Pripyat, which is a great game and we might look at it in another video. And the other is the subject of today's indie game spotlight, Metro 2033. Metro 2033 was a unique game for its time. It's a survival horror FPS developed by 4A Games and adapted from the science fiction novel of the same name, which was written by renowned Russian author Dmitry Glukovsky. Both the game and the novel follow a man named Artyom, who must fight off an unthinkable threat in a world that has been ravaged by nuclear war. Now, whatever is left of humanity has been forced to live underground in the metro tunnels beneath Moscow to escape the deadly levels of radiation on the surface. This same radiation has also turned the wildlife on the surface into ravenous, mutated monstrosities. You'll face a wide variety of mutated fauna over the course of the game, including human-sized rats, monstrous bats known as demons, and hideous bears, among other animals, all of which think of human flesh as a rare delicacy and feast on it at every opportunity. So, in addition to dealing with the horrors caused by nuclear fallout, you'll be fighting off these nightmare creatures with scarce ammunition, a staple of the survival horror genre. Throughout the game, you will scavenge and scrounge up as much ammo as you can, which comes in two varieties: lesser, dirty bullets, and shiny, military-grade rounds, which can be used both to save you from a mutated rat eating your face off, as well as traded with merchants in the metro for new weapons and upgrades. The ammunition/currency system makes the game's implementation of stealth a necessity, especially at higher difficulties. When you have an opportunity to sneak up on an enemy and take them out silently versus potentially running out of standard bullets and expending the precious military rounds, you make the most of that opportunity. The damaging radiation is not just a concern for the surface. There are areas of the metro that have also been affected, and you'll need to equip your gas mask to protect yourself when you pass through them. The air filter of the mask presents another opportunity for survival horror scarcity, as the effectiveness of the air filter constantly ticks down. However, in a bid to preserve immersion and increase tension, 4A Games decided to put the filter's effectiveness on Artyom's watch, which you'll need to check periodically rather than on a meter which is constantly on your screen. This, combined with the constant threat of being ambushed by mutants, makes Metro 2033 just as terrifying to play as any of the Resident Evil games. Oh, and that flashlight that you need to navigate the dark, dank tunnels of Moscow? It runs on a battery that will deplete fairly quickly with constant use. You can recharge it, but you need to use a painfully slow, jury-rigged hand-crank battery charger. Standing in the dark and cranking your battery back to life while mutants circle you in the darkness, trying to pick out the tasty part of your body is truly terrifying and a fantastically creative feature for a survival horror FPS. Metro 2033 was met with both critical and commercial acclaim upon its release. Since then, 4A Games has released two sequels as well as remakes of the first two games on a more advanced version of their 4A engine. The studio has already announced that a fourth game is in development, and we can't wait to see the continuing adventures of Artyom in this ever-dangerous, mutated world. So what's your favorite post-apocalypse game? Let us know in the comments, but remember to be cool. And while you're here, why don't you check out our look at the Resident Evil Winters expansion to see if it's any good. And if you like the Metro games, you definitely want to stay tuned for our upcoming acclaimed retrospective on The Witcher. I'm Mike Golchinski, and I'll see you in the next video.